really, really, really love it when facts bear out my opinions. I mean, it goes to show what a well-informed and reasonable individual I am, I believe. And on a lot of these videos and in the comment sections and things of these videos, we go back and forth. And I always enjoy encountering the socialist who says, you know, oh, if we don't have government to provide these social welfare programs for the populace, what will the poor do? Don't you hear about the poor? What will the needy do? What about the people that can't provide for themselves? Oh, it's really amazing, man. I mean, they assume that if the government doesn't provide for these people, then they won't be provided for. And it boils down to the very fatalistic view that socialists have of the world, of humanity, that, you know, we can't be trusted to help one another. We don't care about each other. And people are basically bad. So the only way, you know, to help your fellow man is to tax fellow man A and transfer it over to fellow man B. So I come across this article in the editorial section of last Sunday's Dallas Morning News. And the article is mainly about competition. How competition has really brought us to the place we are today. And, you know, it's talking about how everybody talks about how bad competition is, but really it's a very good thing. It's brought us a lot of progress and a lot of things that we wouldn't want to do without right now. So Daniel Axt, AKST, is the author of this particular article, and it says here he is a recent public policy scholar at the Wilson Center, which is a conservative think tank. Or a think tank. I haven't been on their website or researched them any. But he points out in the course of this, all this talk about competition, it says about charitable giving. It says the world's biggest champions of competitive individualism are also its biggest philanthropists. Charitable givings by Americans totals 2.2% of the gross domestic product, more than twice the share of wealth contributed by any other nation. So that means we give away 2.2% of the wealth in America. And that's more than double the next closest country. Why? Because we have relatively, even with all the socialistic interventionism that goes on in this country, we have more freedom and more less taxes than just about any country in the world. And so what happens when people are free to do what they want to do with their own money? They give to help their fellow man, and they do so in greater percentages by far than any other country in the world. See, deserving people don't have a hard time finding people to help them. Mankind is basically gentle and kind to one another. Even Adam Smith said this in his theory of moral sentiments, when he said that, you know, basically mankind will do some things to help their fellow man, even though they get nothing out of it beyond the mere fact of seeing it. So they enjoy seeing their fellow humans prosper, and they don't enjoy seeing their fellow humans suffer. So they give, even though there's no benefit directly to them, other than the fact that they're seeing, you know, this happen in their fellow man. And so here we see it, how generous people are when they're left to do with their money as they please. The problem is that a lot of the people that support these social welfare programs are propping up people that would not be able to find assistance in the private sector or from private charity, simply because they are not really as deserving as they want to make themselves out to be. They could go get a job, they could go earn more money, they can do things to help themselves, but it's much easier to demand a government social welfare program that taxes from one person who is a productive member of society and gives to another member of society that is not as productive. And so that's what winds up happening a lot of times. And my suggestion to solve this is give Americans even more freedom what to do with their own money. More deserving causes will be funded, and the freeloaders will be forced to get up off their backside and actually contribute to society.